Back in 2013, a friend of mine walked up to me with one of these and said, I've just got this new Bluetooth speaker. Have a listen to it. It sounds really good. And I did. And I was absolutely blown away. The fact that something this small can create a sound that fills a room so magnificently and it just sounds incredible. I mean, sure, take it to crazy volumes, it's going to sound a bit distorted and stuff, but overall, this thing to me is the gold standard as far as Bluetooth speakers go. This thing is a perfect size, really compact, sounds absolutely amazing. It's the Bose Soundlink Mini. They've upgraded it since. They've added stuff that should have always been on it from the start, like USB charging rather than the 12 volt in that exists on this thing. But I'm not actually here to talk about this today, but it is what I'm going to compare against because, as I say, that is my standard as far as a speaker of this size is concerned. But it's this that I'm interested in today. This is the Anker SoundCore 2, available on Amazon for 40 quid. I picked it up for $29.99 a couple of days ago. It was on some sort of offer. So $29.99. You could get 4-5 of these for the price of one of these. So if this can even come just close to the Bose, it would be absolutely amazing. I've heard really good things about this, so I'm going to unbox it and see how it sounds. Here it is out of the box, the Anker SoundCore 2. It's basically just a Bluetooth pill speaker. There's tons of these around, but this seems like an absolute bargain. You know, if you can pick this up for $29.99 like I did, then this is, well, seemingly a complete bargain. Let's take a look at some of the specs of this thing. Firstly, it has a playtime. The battery on this has a playtime of up to 24 hours. Now, they claim that that's completely dependent on what you're playing and how loud you're playing it. And of course, it will be. That's true for any speaker. But still, 24 hours is a perfectly respectable amount of time for a speaker like this. The maximum output power on this is 12 watts, which doesn't really mean too much because a proper 12 watt amp is pretty loud, and I question whether this is a true 12 watts, but yeah, okay, fair enough. It's loud enough anyway. Range-wise, Bluetooth is 20 meters. It has the Bluetooth 5 standard, which of course means that both sides have to be Bluetooth 5 for it to use, get all the benefits of Bluetooth 5. It will of course work with anything prior to that, but if your phone is a Bluetooth 5 device, then you get the kind of benefits around sort of power saving and stuff that Bluetooth 5 offers. It's only 450 odd grams, this, so not terribly heavy. It's got two 1.5 inch drivers on here, and the stereo separation on this, from what I've heard, is really quite good. I don't know whether it's enhanced in it at all, but it sounds really decent as far as how wide the stereo sort of stage is on this, considering you've just got two speakers that are basically, 5 or 10 centimeters apart. And finally, on top of all that, you have a waterproof rating of IPX7. What does that mean? Well, the X doesn't mean anything, i.e. X is showing you that it doesn't have any protection against kind of solid particles, so, dust, sand. But the 7 is what's the impressive bit on this, and that's why it's in this kind of rubberized cover, I think, all around. All this is sealed, and the reason for that is because this 7 rating means that this can be submerged in water at 1 meter for up to 30 minutes. Of course, you'll need to have the port cover closed here. That's why you have this cover on here, because this will need to be closed for it to have that rating. But still, for £30, that is decent. As with most Bluetooth products, what the buttons across the top do varies depending on whether you're using it to play music or answer a call or just play, your phone call. For music, it's pretty straightforward. You know, you got your power on off button, which you have to hold for just over a second or so to power it on and off. Then you got your Bluetooth button at the end here, which is used for pairing. For auxiliary in, you just plug something into the side, plug the cable into the side. As soon as you do that, it switches automatically to auxiliary in, so there's no need to have a kind of separate button for that. This is mainly used for pairing. And then you've got, you know, volume down, volume up, and then the play button is used, funnily enough, to play your music, but it's also used for pausing, and a double press means you can skip forward to the next track. If you press and hold this for more than a second, you can also activate Siri on whatever device you're using or whatever voice control software you have. In phone call mode, it's a little bit different. So pressing play will either answer or end the call. Pressing play and holding it will reject the call. And you can also put calls on hold and answer other incoming calls with the play button as well. And if you press and hold this while you're on a call, you can transfer that call between the speaker and your mobile phone. You've got your rubberized port on the side here, which of course has to be shut for it to have its IP rating. But in there, just got a micro USB charging port. Maybe you could wish it was USB-C. It's just much simpler, USB-C. But everybody's got so many micro USB cables that it is also quite a nice option. Auxiliary in is a standard 3.5mm stereo TRS jack, so again, doesn't come with a cable for that, but hopefully you'll have or be able to get hold of with no problem a suitable cable to use the auxiliary in on this. Shutting this can be a bit of a pain, but as long as you make sure that this little bit here is sort of pushed into here before you try and close it, once that's nicely sort of slotted in rather than curled round, it does usually close up okay. There you go. So there we are, there's the good stuff, there's the specs, but this is a speaker. How does it sound? I mean, that's what's important. So that's what we're going to test now. And I can tell you that I've tried this out, and I've just mentioned there that it has a really good stereo sort of soundstage. It sounds pretty stereo wide considering how small it is. It doesn't have terribly deep bass, but it does have solid enough bass. It isn't boxy sounding, but it doesn't have that sort of big sound that other speakers I've listened to do. But it does sound really rather good, particularly around the mids. It's got really clear mids and really good clarity up at the top. So does it sound more expensive than a £30 speaker? Absolutely it does. This thing is pretty good. So anyway, enough of me talking. Let's take a listen. I did those two little bits directly into the shotgun mic there, and then I realised that, hang on, this music is no good to test this at all. It's one type of music, and to be honest, it's probably already been pre-processed enormously anyway, and just doesn't sound good enough to demonstrate the quality of the speakers. But there you go. That's the test in the video. Please do download the songs below, because I actually ended up going for 3 versions, one done with the Anker speaker, and one lot done with the Bose speaker, and you can hear the difference between them. I did repeat the track, the kind of more sort of dance track there, but I also did some speech as well, which was taken from BBC Radio 4, and I also did a song taken from a Norwegian site that has all these kind of high-res songs on them. Whether you believe in high-res or not is beside the point here, high-res audio and all that. The fact is these songs are beautifully recorded, and it's a wonderful piano, strings, and I think it's a trumpet piece, and it just sounds fantastic. And I just want to thank everybody within the nearby neighbourhood here and in the house for being quiet and keeping quiet. I don't know how that managed to happen while I recorded those songs from the Anker speaker and from the Bose speaker directly into the Tascam recorder. I was sat here trying to keep as still as possible, and it just sounded amazing. I seriously recommend that you go to the description and download those tracks and take a listen for yourself. I can't play, the only one I can play is that first one because it's a non-kind of copyrighted one. The other ones I will get a copyright strike for, so I just can't play them on this video. I wish I could show you the difference between the two, but take a listen for yourself, and I think you will be impressed by the sound of the Anker speaker. And not only that, it's £30, if you can get a deal, £40 RRP I think it is. And it's also waterproof. You honestly cannot go wrong with this thing. Amazing value for money. The Anker SoundCore 2. I'm not sure for that money I have too much. Honestly, I'm stuck for anything else bad to say. Great value for money. The Anker SoundCore 2. Links in the description. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon. I don't often do giveaways, but today I'm going to make an exception. This is only for people in the UK, unfortunately, because of shipping costs and customs. I can only do this for people in the UK. I'm really sorry about that if you're watching from somewhere else. But if you are in the UK and you would like to win the Anker SoundCore 2 speaker, this exact speaker, I'm happy to send it to you. You need to go to tdcat.com/Anker SoundCore 2 and all the details are there on how you can enter the competition. We'll keep it open for a couple of weeks and pick out our winner and send you this.